Hi, does somebody you love have dementia? Are they getting older and you're worried about their safety? If so, you definitely want to watch this video. My name is Mike. I am the owner of Interim Healthcare of Utah. We are a non-medical home care company that helps our elderly clients remain safely and independently in their own homes. That's where most people want to stay. I don't know if you've had the conversation yet about whether you're afraid for their safety and think it might be time to move them into an assisted living facility. But if you have, then you understand how complicated and emotionally stressful that conversation can be. You see, 9 out of 10 seniors prefer to stay in their own homes. That's where they're most comfortable, that's where they have their routines, that's where they're most familiar, and that's where they prefer to stay. Especially if dementia is part of their challenge. As you probably know, people with dementia, one of the first things they lose is their ability to make new memories. So the idea of moving into an assisted living facility is not only stressful because you're going to take them away from their own home, but because they can't make new memories, they'll never fully get comfortable in the new facility. They'll never fully establish new friendships. They'll never fully establish their new routines. They'll always be somewhat of a stranger in a strange land. Whereas in their own homes, even if they can't make short-term memories, they still remember their favorite couch. They still remember where they sit down to read the newspaper, to drink their cup of coffee in the morning. They still have all of those memories that are lasting memories that will make them more comfortable and feel at ease. So let's talk about that conversation about assisted living. If you haven't had it yet, how come? Is it something you're stressing about? Odds are, here's how it will go. You'll bring up the idea. They'll either get angry or emotional about it, saying that they absolutely do not want to move from their own home, and they'll probably try to get you to make a commitment to say that you won't make them move. And then if you do ask them to finally make that move, you're going to have to reduce their entire house full of goods down to a single bedroom, typically about 200 square feet is all the room they'll have in assisted living. You're going to have to move them, make the emotional move of moving them from their home into the facility. You're going to have to pay a large security deposit. You're going to have to pay a pretty high monthly rent, usually between $3,000 and $6,000 a month or more, to get them access to the care that they need for you to feel comfortable. So what happens if that doesn't work? You move them into assisted living and they never fully adjust. They hate it the whole time. How complicated is it to undo that decision? So with home care, most people don't realize my agency provides the exact same level of care you'd find in assisted living. We just bring it to the home and customize it to your loved ones versus having you move them into the facility where they have to customize themselves to the care. So all of my care that we bring into the home is exactly the same as you'd find in assisted living. We helped your loved ones with basic housekeeping, laundry, changing linens. We can cook them meals. We can run errands with them, take them to the grocery store. We can run them to their doctor's appointments so you don't have to take time off work anymore to do that. We can even help with more intimate levels of care, such as helping them get dressed, helping them get undressed, get into bed, get out of bed, and even include helping them with bathing and grooming. And then finally, we can help them remember to take their medications so that they don't get off track with their medications, which can cause tremendous challenges. One thing that I think there's a huge advantage to home care versus assisted living is we can implement some very effective fall prevention measures. At assisted living, there's nobody going to be assigned to your loved one 24 hours a day. They will be alone without a caregiver for a significant portion of their day, typically on average between 20 and 22 hours a day that they won't have a caregiver with them. So if they have to get up and go to the restroom, they'll push their call button. If they are a fall risk, they'll have to wait sometimes 15 to 45 minutes for somebody to show up. Just depending on what the staffing is like. Most assisted living facilities are understaffed right now, especially at nighttime. And then if they get impatient, they'll try to do it on their own thinking they can, and then they'll fall. And when they do fall, the assisted living will simply just call 911, have EMTs come over to get them off the ground, check them out, and potentially take them to the hospital. With home care, their caregiver is one-on-one. So if they need to go to the restroom, the caregiver is right there immediately. We can support them to make sure that they are safe from falls. We can help them get to and from the restroom safely, or get to and from wherever they have to go safely. We can even encourage them to go on walks and to do different things to strengthen, to maintain their strength. So all of those are advantages you'll find through home care versus assisted living. So if I can imagine why you're watching this video right now, odds are you have a loved one who you're worried about, and you probably started out providing basic care for them. You probably stopped in after work to make sure that they were okay. Maybe you went over on the weekends to buy their groceries and to help them with their bills. And each time you go over there, you realize that your visits are not enough. They need more help than you can safely provide to them, or that you can adequately provide to them. And you feel like you're being torn a little bit between this growing caregiver role and the rest of your life. You have friends, you have work, you have your own family that you're responsible for, and now you've got this new and growing need that consumes all of your energy because you're worried about them all the time. So what do you do? Well, what if you could get everything you wanted? What if you could help them stay in their home so they're the most happy, so that you have a place where you can visit them comfortably, where they have their routines, they have their habits, they have their patterns, but it didn't require any additional time off of your calendar. You can have an agency like my agency come in and provide them with that level of care to keep them safe, to keep them happy. One last final advantage of keeping them home, especially right now given the pandemic of coronavirus going around, the first major intrusion of coronavirus into the United States was in a senior community in the state of Washington. So by clustering them all together in the same building, you're increasing their potential risk to things like the coronavirus or the basic flu virus for that matter. Whereas I can tell you right now, my clients who are staying in their homes right now are safer than probably anybody else in America because they have very little exposure to anybody outside of their caregivers who come in and visit with them. So if you feel like this is something you're interested in, we would love to talk to you. All you have to do is click the link below, and we will, and you can schedule a time to get on our calendar. One of us will call you. We'll talk through your situation. We'll talk through our care, and we'll explain to you exactly how it works, what it costs, how hard it is to implement. And then if it feels like it's a go, we'll schedule a time to come out and meet with you face to face. So click that link below, and let's get on the calendar. Let's set up a time to talk. We hope to see you soon. Okay.